Good evening, Ruskin enjoyers. Hope you're doing right, because it's time for the Abnormal Barders. Tonight we have an interesting batch of skins to chase after. We have the Sheep Door, Python, Tier 3 Armour, Bamboo Locker, we have the Sheep Double Door, and of course the Cryo Small Box. And, well, we also have some regular skins as well, the Bandana and the AK-47. Now, you might be sitting there and wondering, what on earth has he just said? Abnormals, regular skins, Well, don't worry, I'll try and help you out very quickly. If you were to look at the description right now, you'll see two videos are provided. The first video at the very top, that's a 60-second short video, which will briefly showcase that abnormal skins, they become marketable before the roster even rotates. So what we can do is we can figure out prices right now, write them all down if we have to, and then when all these skins become marketable, we'll race to put them down as fast as possible, and hopefully in the future, we are the people that pick these up for a much cheaper price. And of course, with regular skins, they will only become marketable when the roster rotates tomorrow. Okay? So, in short, with abnormals, we can get these barders done. Afterwards, we can look and see how many barders each skin has. We can see how high the price goes. And then we can consider, right, well, the barders are going all the way up to the roster price, the price it's selling for. That's a good indicator that it's probably a good thing to consider buying. Why? Because it has the support. If the barders go up to a certain point where it matches up very close to the price it's selling for in Rustor, that clearly showcases that it has like a decent bit of support behind it. It likely won't be going down in price anytime soon. So now you get it. So now we're going to go through all these skins based on total sales so far, and we're going to figure out what potentially might be a nice price to offer for all of them. Cobalt Jungle Container Sheep Door. So this is a very interesting design. It has transparency, and of course it's covered in foliage, the plants and whatnot. That's nice. Now, in theory, you could probably compare this to like the Brutalist Sheep Door, the Bombshell Sheep Door, and of course the recent Bee Sheep Door, but they also have glowed in the dark. That doesn't glow, but it is covered in the leaves, and you're just going to have to take my word for it. In the past, we have seen some interesting, like, greeny, grassy covered skins, more specifically, a certain door, which I'm going to showcase to you in a second. There we go, camouflage net door. Up 70% because people do appreciate this. A lot of people like to cover their base in, like, green rugs and whatnot. Very recently, we just had the jungle ivy rug, didn't we? Sold a little bit too much. Give it time, I'm sure it'll go back up in the positive eventually, but that right there, I'm sure you're fully well aware you cannot cover a door with a rug, but you can buy that door and still cover your base in lovely green netting and whatnot. So that has been appreciated as time going on. Could you say the same for the jungle container sheep door? This right here. I can see it working out as a nice alternative, and of course with the transparency, that's an extra bonus. Jump ups, being able to look down, keep an eye out if there's people outside your base and whatnot. I could see it working out quite nicely. It's just it doesn't glow. Now, if we were to, quickly showcase to you all the sheep doors that come out so far this year, you'll also notice that, oh dear, quite a lot of them are down in price. That's holding up reasonably because it was like perfectly aligned with the jungle building skin. And as I said, this glows in the dark and also happens to have transparency. A lot of people have been appreciating it. It's done a very good job of retaining its price, and that very likely could flourish ever more as we go through the summertime. Maybe we'll see some more bee skins being accepted. Oh, I wonder if that potentially might be happening. So anyway. Some of the sheep doors have worked out all right, but the majority tend to end up a little bit like So I've made a comparison to the camouflage net door. I've talked about other transparent transparent doors, but they also glow. This is awkward because I think from the top of my head, the only doors I can remember that have transparency are ones that also glow, and they've all worked out reasonably okay. Most of them. But you, how many people are going to appreciate you? Now, at the very least, we do have the armored double door. And you might bring up these two, but these, come on now, they have to be like a separate collection by now, especially now that we've got an extra sheep and door being accepted, so, okay. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some more, and you can see something right here, yes you can. That is the Cobalt Jungle Container Garage Door, which was submitted just this past weekend. There is a potential that we can see even more. It's a matter of, is it actually going to even happen? We don't know. We can hope, but hey, we'll leave it at that. So in terms of price, I still see it dropping off at some point in the future. If you feel more confident, you can offer some more funds if you want to, but I'm looking at that and I'm going to sit there and say $1.20 to $1.80. I don't want to go all the way up to $2. I think it very likely will be going down to around $2, but the interesting design and the transparency, I think it will keep the price up to a reasonable point. So $1.80 is what I got up to. Cool. Heatseeker Python. This right here is looking to be the lowest selling Heatseeker skin. Now, at the moment, that seems reasonably likely, but I reckon we'll probably see an extra 500 subscribers over the course of the next 20 or so hours. I do think we will just about surpass the AK, alright? But at the end of the day, it'll only be by a slightly extra amount. So, is that fine? Is that okay? Well, at $3, we also have to acknowledge the other Pythons with transparency, the transparent aim sight. That being the Chrome Bombshell, which is now selling for $1.74. Redemption Python, which is now selling for $2.46. So 2 cheaper alternative options. And then, of course, the Blackout Python, which has done a very good job of retaining its price over the past year or so. Like, the others seem a little bit more reliable. This I am a fair bit concerned about. But hey, what if we were to see another Heatseeker skin being accepted, tomorrow? Or next week? Or the week after that? Who knows? But we are aware that we have 2 Pythons, 2 revolvers, 2 revolver options, and a brand new Heatseeker LR300. Yes, there's a lot of transparency in that as well. It's a ridiculous amount of transparency. So this Python, there are other options, and they are cheaper. In general, you can see this for yourself. It's not too hard to notice. I don't think people like using the Python that much. If it was used a lot more frequently, those skins would be up in price quite a fair bit more. But only the transparent ones seem to be doing a better job of retaining their price, but it's still down. So, oh dear, I've got to think about how I want to approach it, and I honestly think I'm probably going to do, again, $1.20 to $1.80. I don't expect to potentially buy any of these for a while, but I can't help but assume once we hit around October time, that's during the autumn-fall seasonal dip period, so that'd be September, October, November. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I could pick that up for a cheaper price. I wouldn't be surprised if it does eventually drop off, but I could still see it rebounding and working out quite nicely, so as long as the collection keeps getting those continuations. So, okay. So yeah, $1.20 to $1.80 for that Python 2. Island Assault Team Tier 3. Now, this is selling for $2, this is selling for $1.49. Both of them have sold quite nicely. And if I could just quickly point out my 48-hour analysis, I made quite a lot of predictions for what the likely sales would be by next Thursday. So, Cobalt Jungle Container, 18 to 20,000 subscribers. Well, it kind of looks like we're going to surpass that. Heatseeker Python, 17 to 19,000. Well, it kind of looks like we're going to surpass that. But then we have the Tier 3 and, well, the Bamboo Locker, which we'll talk about in a bit. I thought 15 to 18,000 subscribers would be for both of them. The Tier 3 has surpassed it. Okay. So, somewhat recently, right? Somewhat recently, we did see Black Alligator start off, didn't we? But that sold quite a high amount, didn't it? That did 23,600 subscribers. When we saw the extra skins being accepted, that being, what was it, hoodie pants, or was it Tier 2? It was Tier 2, right? One of them. Anyway, it was Tier 2. The Tier 2, when it came out, it didn't sell as much as the Tier 3, and now, because there's a lot of those in excess, the prices are starting to go down. It's becoming a bit of a worry. If we do see the same thing happen with this, if we see Tier 2 come out and it sells quite considerably less, compared to this, you're going to have to sell. You've got to be prepared for such a thing. But regardless, if we do see a continuation of your pants, Tier 2, boots and gloves, that's real likely to be spiking ever so nicely. Is it likely to happen? Well, I can point out that some hoodie and pants have been, there this whole time. I'm not sure the skin creator is fully well aware. Oh yeah, there he is, yeah. But, yeah, if I could quickly go to here, I can point out the hoodie pants have been there for a while now. So, grey out, anybody? Are you looking forward to the idea of a full-fledged grey out collection? Right, anyway, so, if I was to consider prices, I think I'm going to go 70 cents to $1 for both of them. Cool-looking designs, I just don't trust them. And, okay, if we do see the potential for continuations, I'm all for it. but the skin creator didn't make anything this past weekend. With what you just saw a minute ago, that was actually submitted quite some time back. So we'll see how it goes. Alright? 70 cents to $1, because I don't feel like it's going to be 100% all right. I could imagine it might take a while. Like the skin creators, maybe they're biding their time, waiting out to see if they could make something a lot more elaborate. I don't know, but we'll see. Okay, so yeah, 70 cents to $1, playing it safe. Now, the Bamboo Cage Locker. The third skin to be accepted in the Bamboo Cage collection. The small box has been doing ever so nicely, but the large box has started to dip below its Rust price. It has happened. So perhaps the transparency isn't always going to keep it, super in demand and whatnot. That is a good question. Now, of course, the first thing we need to address is one of the most expensive locker skins we have in the game right now just so happens to be also transparent. But with the Bamboo Cage's appearances of recent, are we noticing other people now trying to do, super transparent deplorables? Yes. This past weekend, I did see quite a lot of interesting skins being submitted. I can actually take you over to here. No, this is the spot. There we are. Let's take you to the deplorables, because I saw like super transparent rugs. I saw some other interesting super transparent, storages and whatnot, as you can see here. That's looking pretty cool. So, other skin creators are taking notice. Other skin creators, right? They're going to try and see if they can get the same thing. Now, of course, the collection could still continue with this rug here, but there's competition because other people are looking at the idea of doing that. So, okay, cool. It's getting a bit interesting. But back over to here. Is this is it actually going to maintain its $2.49 price? Are people actually going to use it like a barricade? That's an interesting thought. What are your thoughts in regards to that? Feel free to comment below. $2.49. You have sold a reasonable amount, 16,000 subscribers so far. The funny thing is that cargo heli locker, that did like 15,000 subscribers. 5 years ago it came out. Now it is one of the most expensive locker skins we have in the game. There was that period of time where we had like 2 years with no lockers, so that kind of helped them, gave them a bit of a boost. There will be more lockers. That feels like an inevitability. We are expecting more lockers after this, of course. Is there going to be anything like that? There could be. I think for that I'm going to offer, once again, $1.20 to $1.80. Yeah. I don't feel super confident to go higher. I do question it a lot in regards to what's going to happen next, and will we even see an instant collection continuation? I think my price suggestion should be right. I think we'll be right. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. Twisted Metal Sheet Metal Double Door. When I did my predictions video, this was the skin I pointed out first because, of course, Sheet Metal Double Doors that came out last year, well, they're all doing very, 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 very nice. Even the Christmas one's starting to go back up in the positive. It's a miracle. So only the holiday ones were down a fair bit bad, but now they're starting to recover. Halloween, you have quite a lot to go. But all of the Sheet Metal Double Doors from the previous year are doing good. Let me remind you, that was a record-breaking amount of skins being accepted in a single year. What we have here isn't matching up to what we saw there. So, okay, cool. So, that Sheet Metal Double Door, it's not exactly from a super in-demand collection, as you can see here, Twisted Metal. It's not amazing. Could be better, I guess. But all by itself, this design does look pretty cool. With the happy face. Look at him. I could see a lot of people still appreciating it as time goes on and whatnot. I could see it retaining its value. Will you be profitable, though? Will you be super profitable? That's the annoying thing. I could see it eventually working out quite nicely as we go through post-Christmas, next year's summer. I'm sure you get the understanding. So I think I'm going to do $1.50 to $2. I'm going to go a little bit stronger on this one. I feel more confident in it. So that's how I'm going to approach that. $1.50 to $2. Let's see how things roll out from there. Cryo Small Box. Let's just bring up that quite a lot of the Cryo collection has been produced but not accepted, unfortunately. So if I go over to here, I can point out the furnaces that are most recently submitted. We'll keep an eye out and see if they are accepted in the upcoming Rust doors. But over to here, we have the locker from last week. We have a large box. We have some doors, some sheet metal double doors, but none of them are accepted. right? Now, the Cryo Box, that was accepted. That was a big surprise to me. Let's see if things do improve. But each and every single one of these skins has a very cool looking design made. And I'm kind of vouching for the furnaces with their very bright white coloration on the interior. It looks cool. It looks nice. But that, I don't think, is going to help enough to keep that skin up in price. Yeah, it's got an interesting bit of transparency at the top. Yeah, it glows it up very nicely at night time. I just don't fully know if it's going to be all right. Small boxes. What do you mean, Hedge? Oh, we'll take a look. And what do you see? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Now, I could look at like last year's skins and point out how some of them sold absurd amounts, but still retain their value and did quite alright. Okay, you could, but you're mainly talking about the Neon Storage Collection, aren't you? Well, that's a collection, and yes, they kind of all help each other out. This skin is all by his lonesome self. Will you be appreciated? I don't think so. I think he's going to be probably put aside and forgotten about after a while. It's a lovely looking skin. It's just, I don't feel like we're definitely going to get continuations anytime soon. It'll be nice to see. Very next Rust or tomorrow? Okay, cool. I'll shut up and I'll be like, yep, that's nice. I'm happy to see it. But yeah, being realistic, I don't think that's retaining its price. $1 to $1.60. I was going to say $1.50, but you know what? Let's go a little bit higher. So $1 to $1.60 for that one. I feel like that could be reasonably okay as time goes on. So that's all the abnormal skins. Let's now talk about the regular skins. So for the bandana, I feel like I will just stick with a bar tomorrow when the rest is rotated. And for what it does blend in very nicely with the coconut armor. It looks cool. It looks nice. I'm sure a lot of people appreciate that. Is there enough people to appreciate it? Shut up. Anyway, could we see more? I was expecting like some burlap and whatnot, but no, Mishka has not continued. So, okay, fair enough. I don't feel super confident. I am aware that there are some cheaper bandana masks available, as you can see here. Yes, because quite a lot of them have gone down in price a fair bit. So, for this bandana, I think I'm going to do like 60 cents to 70 cents. I don't think it's going to retain all of its price, but I could still pick up some cheaper prices. So, okay, cool. And then, of course, we have the AK. It's a fine-ish showcase, strangely unique design. But I don't think they'll be retaining its price. I think there'll be a 60 cent to 80 cent buy order. Sorry to say, but yeah, okay, cool. So how's all the skins? Shall we now talk about the possibilities of what to see tomorrow? So I've already kind of showcased the collections. So last week, Rust Workshop skin checks for June 10, 2025. And the most recent one, let's just scroll up. Rust Workshop skin checks for June 17, 2025. I would show the top picks list, but TGD doesn't make them anymore. In fact, I can confirm that he now has an official role at Face Punch. We don't know all the details as of yet, but we'll see what he says as time goes on. I guess there are conflicts in making videos and lists and whatnot, so yeah, so at the very least, congratulations to him. Yes, he is hired. He is actually working for them now. Yeah. So I don't think we're going to see the Bombshell collection continue anymore. We'll see. We'll see. We don't know all the details until he reveals all the details. Next week, next Thursday, so that's going to probably be what? The 26th of June. We're going to have the summer sale. Oh, I said it right there. I was figuring it out. Shut up. We are going to have a summer sale. That's going to last for 2 weeks, and I do believe Rust will be on sale. AKA a lot of brand new fresh meat. It's going to jump in. But over to here. I don't think we'll be surpassing May. That is a big surprise to me. But compared to what we see here to the previous year, it's still pretty ridiculous. But yeah, not going to see anything really change until July 4th swipe, I guess. That's when all the actual new people will be around and actively trying to get into the servers. They'll be like, why does this have a wait list? That doesn't really seem like a clever idea. So, alright, cool. Next 2 weeks, let's keep an eye out and see how things progress. Now, over to the commits. Not that much has been said in regards to new content. But I can talk about how, like, the naval update's still being worked on. The Pilot Hazmat DLC is still being worked on, more specifically the M15 pistol, which will most likely just be a reskin. And then over to here, decor light. Looks like we're still getting those brand new lights, but we won't be able to get a good look at them until they're on staging. So, okay, fair. Cool. Right then, so I do believe I've said everything that needs to be said, so shall we now go ahead and skip ahead. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Best of luck to all of you. Let's go. Right, Twisted Metal Double Door. Are you there? Are you there? Right, you're not there. I thought about focusing the tier 3. I don't think we're going to see anything like that for quite some time. There you go. Alright, there's that. There you go. Now we've got this. Okay, let's go to here. Heatseeker Python. That's already got like a $2 barter there. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that happened. And now we've got the door. The door looks cool. Oh, don't want to do that. 30. Yep. And over to here with the Cryo Box, no. Do we have the face mask? No. Right, let's quickly go over to here, do a second batch of buy orders. There's the chest plate. Chest plate's looking pretty sweet. The barter's looking pretty okay. Alright, we have the cage locker. Not too bad. It's a $2 buy order. Price suggestion, what was it for the Python? Up to 180. That's about 180. That's above. I think I'll just slot myself like so. Yeah. Right, I think that's a decent amount of buy orders. We'll do this last one. Okay, so for the sheet door, set up to 180. That seems to be alright right there. I'm going to go for this. Alright, sweet, that's it. So let's now skip ahead and talk about the abnormal barter support. Alright, it's been about 30 minutes. Let's go ahead and take a look at the abnormal barter support. And with what we see here for the Twisted Metal Double Door, a $2.49 skin. It has over 1,000 buy order requests, and the price, well, that's building all the way up to $2 and slightly above. So if you were to, like, brutally, straightforward ask Hedge, is that okay? Yeah, honestly, that's looking perfectly fine. With the behaviour of sheet metal double doors over the past year, we saw an absolutely ridiculous amount being accepted last year, and yet they're all essentially in the positive. People clearly like using double doors. It's looking pretty sweet. However, all those other sheet metal double doors, they glow in the dark. Except one. That's still in the positive. So let's just quickly hop back over to here. You'll see this for yourself. So here you go. Just take one quick look and you'll notice, hang on a minute, that doesn't glow. That does, that does, that does, that. All except the Graffiti Love Double Door. Now, that sold only 6,000 subscribers, so that's getting the great benefit of, due to a sheer lack of like overall quantity, that's fairly pricey. So we'll go down over to here. Deep Sea Double Door, that's in the positive. That doesn't glow, so that's pretty sweet. Old Subway Double Doors, yep, $4 there. Like, it's not like it has to glow, but honestly, just looking at the behaviour of all of these skins, I still feel like it's going to emulate and follow suit and whatnot. So, yes, you could straight up go ahead and buy a bunch of these. Just don't buy too many. Buy an amount that you can actually sell, and you might have to sit on this for a while, alright? Please take that into consideration. You might have to sit on it for a while to then be able to flip it for like a good profit. And right now, you can see listings already going down to about $3. That's not very profitable if you bought it for $2.49, is it? Ew. So, yeah, it's up to you. If you're watching this during your lunch break, make a decision. But at the moment, it does look like you could probably get that for a cheaper price with a buy order off of $2.20. I'm sure you'll be able to pick some up eventually as time goes on. It's just a matter of, will this actually work out nicely? I do have a short video showcasing this. Put some lights next to it. It makes the face ever so more scary to look at. Maybe it gets a nice bit of resurgence around Halloween because people could use that for their trick-or-treat doors. We'll see, we'll see. But yeah, that does look like it's going to retain its value to a decent point, and it could be a good thing to consider putting some funds into. Wait it out, sell them at a later time. Oh, cool. Awesome. I still made some profit. That'd be cool. That'd be a nice thing to say, so. Alright, let's move on. The tier 3, so this is grey out. Nice matte grey, doesn't reflect that much, not like a metallic set. This is selling for $1.49. It's got barters going all the way up to $1.30. This is selling for $1.99, and it's got barters going all the way up to like $1.30. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if everybody's fully well aware that this is different prices, but either way, both of them have very good barters. Plenty of barters, very good prices. That won't be going down in price for a while, hopefully. Let's see if this does actually work out quite nicely. And could we see the hoodie and pants tomorrow, or the day after that, the day after that, or the day after that? We shall see. But it's definitely something to rub our hands in anticipation over. So, okay, we'll see how that goes. We'll see. Things are looking promising, but based on what I'm looking at here, yeah, you could probably buy a few of those. But if we don't see any continuations for quite a long time, don't be surprised if it drops off in value, drops off in price. But then again, will we see another grey matte design that doesn't reflect or glow or anything? We'll see. Right then, so that's looking interesting, but you're probably still better off for barters. In this particular instance, you could probably offer like $1.60, $1.70. You could get it for a cheaper price, I'm sure. So okay, cool. Bamboo cage locker. Last week we had the large box. Right now that's starting to go below its rust price. Pretty sad, but kind of felt like an inevitability. The sales are pretty good for the large box, but it just doesn't seem like there are people that are already starting to unload their stock, and the the prices weren't exactly changing that much. So like that right there, all it needs is one fairly big YouTuber to just use it, showcase it. That's all it needs. Just one YouTuber of notable fame to use it, showcase it, whether they're on the roof, whether you're putting it in a doorway, someone keeps mentioning tugboat. Someone's got to showcase this, because once the masses see it for themselves, they like to copy. And to copy, they need to buy that and use it, don't they? So as of now, with the barters going all the way up to just about $2.10 almost, you could probably go ahead and buy some. I bought a sneaky 10 small boxes. It worked out, just saying. We'll see, alright? Will people actually put that on top of their bases and use it as actual defense? Time will tell. But as of now, you could go buy something. You could just probably stick with a $2.20 barter, and you'll probably still be able to pick these up. And yeah, so we'll see. Heatseeker Python. You're just about to sell a little bit more compared to your record-breaking. The lowest selling Heatseeker skin, the AK. So you're just about to sell a little bit more than that. There was the hope that it wouldn't sell too ridiculously, but even then, we're noticing prices are already going a bit funny. So this is a $3 skin, and you already have listings very close to that price. With all the competition, there's issues, there's problems. Sorry, I was a bit jumbled up as I spoke there. You might notice I'm very tired. I'll address that at the end of the video. I'm so sorry. So this right here, I think you're better off with a buy order. I looked at this more in terms of long term. I very much worry about the Heatseeker collection as we go through the September, October, November period of time, the autumn seasonal dip. The support is there, but I just don't think it's going to stay there forever. I worry for it. But again, people are probably buying it because they want the full set of Heatseeker. Looks nice, looks cool, stylish. Okay. We'll see how this goes. I still think a $1.20 to $1.80 barter is a better way to approach it. Yes, personally speaking. So I'm not too upset with my choice. I think that's all right, and we'll see what happens next. Yep. So best of luck to you, Heatseeker Python. But again, there are cheaper options out there. So we'll see. Cobalt jungle container, sheepman door. Yes, it has the peaks, the transparency. Well, the barter's going all the way up to about just under $2. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. So I wasn't sure if it was going to be like, if it needed glow in the dark to really give it a boost, to really get people to notice it and appreciate it. From what I see here, it looks like it's doing a very good job of like retaining its price for the foreseeable future, but it could still drop off by about 20%, which would be around $2. We shall see. We shall see. But, yeah, there is at least a decent bit of support. You could probably just put down a $2 barter and pick these up for 50 cents cheaper. If you're actively wanting to actually go ahead and buy a bunch of these, a $2 barter should be perfectly fine. if you want to stick with that. All right, so will it stick, will it hold, or will it drop like many other $2.49 sheep doors? We'll keep an eye on that. We'll see how that progresses. And then the Cryo Small Box, it's fine. It's a $2.49 skin, but the barter's only got up to like $1.50. Yeah, you're better off with like a $1.80 barter or whatnot. You'll be able to get that for a fairly cheap price. I won't be surprised. But if we see a continuation, like a locker or a large box or whatever, we'll see. But yeah, I could see that helping it out. So, cool. Right, so that is everything. Honestly, it's looking like only the sheepman double door feels like it's a reliable, comfortable option. And throughout all this video, I'm very sorry, but I've been very tired. It's been stupidly hot at the moment. I haven't been able to sleep properly. Go watch the whole video and just focus my eyes. You'll notice I'm struggling. I've been on autopilot quite a lot this stream. I'm very grateful for my chat putting up with me. Thank you very much. But yeah, I'm out of it. Like, I'm running on fumes. I'm dawdling. I'm losing focus. I've had to redo this, just this recording, like 6 times. Because I've like phased out to a different dimension. I need to go get some sleep. So I would suggest you do that too. Stay hydrated. Sleep enough. You won't go crazy then. That's good. But tomorrow, what to expect for tomorrow? TGG doesn't do his top picks lists anymore, so we could look at my previous batch of Rust Workshop skin checks, but you could also look at my newest batch of Rust Workshop skin checks. We've already kind of pointed this out. We've got some interesting collection continuations. I call this the Bone Throne. It's actually called the Fallen Chair. I still think Bone Throne is better. Observe the Bone Throne. Yes, come sit. We've also got Forest Raiders Fridge. Could we potentially return to Forest Raiders Deplorables? That would be pretty sweet. Scroll down a little bit more. I love this. This detour barricade's pretty funny. Put them all along the roads, try and distract people and whatnot. They glow in the dark ever so nicely. I think people appreciate something like that. We also happen to see like Cryo Furnace. We've seen some other transparent deplorables being produced. You could quite literally stick a chicken in there. What else do we see? Well, you know, we also happen to spot a very interesting bit of garage doors. Lots of collection continuations. Boneforge, we have Baby Hippo, B garage door transparency, glow in the dark. Cobalt jungle container garage door, we've already talked about that. And then little ultramarine sheepman double door has returned. A whole bunch of rocks. We also happen to have the like ice stone tools right there. We also happen to see an interesting option of either, you know, the Commando Thompson with transparency or the Ruin Thompson with transparency. So get a good look at that, and then get a good look at that. So where's the picture? There it is. Yes. So both of them had their side panels removed or made transparent. Just to clarify, that's the exact same aim sight you'd see on the Heatseeker Thompson. So, okay, fair enough. Both of them looking pretty viable. But that potentially could be a problem for the Thompson, as you can see here. I hope I clicked the Thompson. There you go. Yeah, so this has only actually started to recover. The price has actually slowly, steadily gone up in price. That's nice to see. If we see that Ruin or Commando Thompson tomorrow, might be a bit of a problem. Yeah, a little bit, just a little bit. So we'll see how that turns out. Loads of interesting skins. Oh, look, another Heatseeker skin. Wow. Oh, look, it's an LR300. Oh, look, it has an absolutely ridiculous aim sight. Where is it? There you go. Come on now, look at that. Oh, God. That has just as much of an absurd amount of transparency, like in comparison to the MP5. That's madness, so. All right, cool. Let's see if that potentially gets accepted. Or the revolver for the previous week, we shall see. Got a lovely batch of AK-47s, tyre, large backpack. Jungle Protection Burlap has been getting a lot of traction, a lot of support, but hey, will it actually be accepted? We shall see. And then, of course, you can see a lot of interesting armor pieces. We also happen to see a version 2 of the Black Alligator clothing, so if that gets accepted, Tier 2, Tier 3, Spike Command, Spike Price, looking ever so nice, we shall see. But yeah, that was essentially a version 2 of what we saw the previous week, so alright, cool. So yeah, that is everything. And if you kind of want to just skim through all those skins, the collection continuations, we'll look no further. We have the Rust Workshop skin checks for June 17, 2025 right here in front of me. This is the most recent Rust Workshop skin checks video. Shouldn't be too hard to find. And as you can see, all collection continuations are chaptered. So if something you notice strikes your fancy, click the little buttons, the little numbers to the left there. It will make you skip ahead to that part, and you get the idea. So cool, just pointing it out. I think that's it. I think that's everything. So thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Best of luck to all of you and your investments. I'm not expecting an early Rust rotation tomorrow, but we did get one last week, so be a little bit prepared. Again, if you're watching this during your lunch break, maybe make a decision now if you actually want to jump in and buy some of these skins. And remember, if you want a skin, just buy it. Treat yourself. But if you want to make an investment, quite a lot of those skins are now marketable. You could go quickly look at all their abnormal barter support and make a decision, because it's all like so. Nice and, well, insightful. So cool. Alright, that's it. Catch you later. Say goodbye.